What's going on, guys? I'm Cole Tinsley from Thunder Whiskey, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Ibanez Guitars. The company behind Ibanez was a Japanese business called Hoshino Gakki, which was founded in 1908. Early on, Hoshino imported guitars associated with the Spanish luthier Salvador Ibanez. So even though Ibanez became a Japanese guitar manufacturer, the name itself actually has Spanish roots. As years went on, Hoshino began putting the Ibanez name on guitars they made in Japan. And by the 1960s and 70s, Ibanez became really well known for making affordable guitars that looked a lot like popular American models from companies like Fender and Gibson. Maybe a little too alike. Because in 1977, Norland Music, Gibson's parent company, took legal action tied to the Gibson-style open book headstock design being used on some Ibanez models. That's the part of the Ibanez history that everybody knows, is the whole copy or lawsuit era thing. And yeah, that was a huge part of their story. For a while, Ibanez was mostly known as an alternative for American guitars, but what makes them really interesting is that they didn't stay at just that. Instead of just living in that copy era world forever, Ibanez started building its own identity. In the late 70s, they came out with original models like the Artist, Musician, and Iceman. And those guitars helped show that Ibanez could actually stand on its own. Then the 1980s hit, and this is where Ibanez became the Ibanez we all know. This was the era of shred, flashy guitars, thin necks, and the worst thing ever, Floyd Rose tremolo. Ibanez absolutely thrived in that world. They were making guitars that felt fast, modern, and built for players who wanted to do more than just strum a few chords. One of the biggest turning points came in 1987 when Ibanez worked with Steve Vai to create the Gem. That guitar became iconic instantly, and it helped lead to the RG, which is still one of the most recognizable Ibanez models ever made. From there, Ibanez became one of the biggest names in rock, metal, and shred guitar, but they also had another side too. They built strong hollow body and jazz models, and players like John Scofield, Pat Metheny, and George Benson helped give the brand credibility outside of just the high-gain shred world. George Benson's GB10, introduced in 1977, is still the longest running signature model in Ibanez history. Then, later on, Ibanez became a huge player in the rise of 7-string guitars, especially when the Universe was released in 1990. While it started out as a niche instrument, it became a much bigger force in the late 1990s, especially as brands like Korn helped define the nu metal sound with 7 strings, which pushed extended range guitars further into the mainstream. That's kind of why Ibanez matters so much. They started off connected to imported guitars, got known for copying other guitars, and then completely changed themselves and became one of the biggest staples in guitar history. Now, I have a huge soft spot for Ibanez guitars. I've owned 4 of them in my time, and 3 of them are some of the best guitars I've ever owned. This right here is my Ibanez Jet King 1. This is one of my favorite guitars Ibanez has ever made, and they're actually surprisingly cheap. It's supposed to be a callback to the quirky imported Japanese guitars from the 1960s. And I honestly love the look, I love the way it feels, and it's amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about Ibanez guitars, and let me know if there's any guitar brands you'd like to see me go into a deep dive on this channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to keep seeing guitar and music related content. Keep thinking outside the box, and I'll see you next time.